Everybody, we are Russell and Kristi Johnson, and we are worship leaders, and we work with marriage ministry, but we also support a lot of other ministries too, like with Kris Swiatocho doing singles ministry. But we're going to be on these cruises, leading worship and helping with the teaching, and just looking forward to interacting and meeting so many of those who will come. So we're excited to be here tonight, and thank you for tuning in.
Yep. And so, yeah, Lisa, share a little bit about you. I'm still working on getting this shared.
Okay. I'd love to. My name is Lisa Mann, and I'm with All Christian Cruises. We have been doing cruises for singles and couples and families and groups and churches and organizations since 2001. Yeah, I know and Kris was did one of the first cruises with us all the way back then. And so we just love it. We've been kind of almost, I guess, sleeping for a few years, with COVID, but we are back and we are excited and we're grateful that there is a renewed excitement to travel, and going on a cruise is a lot of fun. And we're excited to tell you guys about that tonight and share our experiences and answer your questions and just be a great resource for you.
Well, wonderful. I think I got it to work, guys.
Awesome.
The enemy does not like us to do anything where it promotes the kingdom. And so we are aware of this. We have 7 eyeballs so far watching. I have shared it to our cruise page, that is our singles cruise page, as well as our Alaskan page. So hopefully between that and personal pages and Russell and Kristi, you can definitely share it on your personal page. Hopefully we've got everybody watching, and we're looking to get your input, ask any questions that you want to have related to the cruise. But I thought that Russell and Kristi and Lisa and myself would share a little bit more. I am in full-time ministry. I speak, teach, travel anywhere in the world that God sends me. I primarily do singles and women's ministry, leadership development. And I've known Russell and Kristi and Lisa for at least 20 years. Russell and Kristi and myself, we all did a singles retreat I was in Myrtle Beach, right?
That's right.
Yep, a long time ago, and just developed a friendship. And over the years, we've continued to work together. We do a big retreat called Labor Day Singles in the North Carolina mountains. And so great couple that we've done singles things together. We're also doing the Alaskan cruise, which is going to be marrieds and singles. We're going to talk a little bit about that. But what I love about Russell and Kristi is they do so well around anyone, including single adults, because of their heart for Christ, their heart to serve. And they also spend time talking with people married and single. And so I love it, because sometimes worship teams kind of like do their thing and then they're gone. And what I love about Russell and Kristi is they hang out and get to know people, because we're all the body of Christ, right? We're all the body of Christ, and whether you're married or single. And so that's what I love about them. But wanted to share a little bit more before we get into some questions and answers for you, that we are doing these 2 cruises. And people ask me all the time, guys, they say, how did you get this? How did you get these cruises? And I'm like, I'm special. No.
You are.
Yeah, that's what my mama says, right?
Uh-huh.
But how does this come about, and how do you get to do this? And so one of the things is we've got All Christian Cruises, and we're going to come back to Lisa later on and hear more about the cruises and some of the questions that you guys have been asking and been sending me, and probably sending Russell and Kristi as well. But Russell and Kristi and myself want to share with you a little bit about both the cruises that we're doing from a teaching and from a worship standpoint. And so Russell, Kristi, would you share the cruise that we're doing in December this year? Is a Christmas cruise, which I'm so excited to be able to dress up and do, probably not a Christmas sweater because it'll be kind of warm, but to be able to do Christmas on a ship. What an opportunity to be able to share our faith with other people, to be able to minister to other people while we're on the ship. But share with people a little bit about worshiping the Lord, and what is that, what do you think it's going to be like in the Dominican Republic in Coco?
Yeah. Well, we're excited about it. And the good news is you're not actually gone on Christmas. You're back before Christmas.
That's
but
right.
we so don't want confusion there. But But yeah, it's going to be fun because I love it. You know, we always just want to set the stage, right, when we ever gather together. And so one of the ways we do that is through prayer and through worship music and singing together. And it's just it's usually a powerful time where we just join our hearts and our voices together and proclaiming who Jesus is and how thankful we are for the gift that he is. And hey, doing that around Christmas time is ultra special. We'll be doing some Christmas music as well to get ourselves in the mood for celebrating Christmas. But it's going to be great, and it's just a time to get to know one another as well. But then just to be encouraged through teaching and through God's word, and then just to get out. You know, it's always fun. One of the best parts of cruising is you just wake up and you're somewhere different, and you get to get off the ship. You get to go experience the beauty of all that God's created and the people and the environments and the things. And that's just a great thing. I know you love that too, don't you? Yeah. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And so we're really excited about it. And first time we've done a cruise with Kris. We've known each other all this time, but it's the first time. But we and you have done events with Lisa through the years on the cruises, but just not at the same time. So we're really excited that this will be a first for all of us. And, but yeah, cruising is so much fun. You know, you can eat whenever you want. You know, we can sit together
Or as much as you want.
You can eat anytime you want, as much as you want. And then even at our dinner times, being able to sit down with members of our group and just be around the table together. And then still you get to enjoy everything about the cruise. But the added bonus is our close-knit group being able to get together, worship the Lord, be encouraged, and then just to be a light to others on the ship or in the ports where we go. So we're really excited about it.
And what an opportunity that we have as a body that we can minister to other people while we're on the ship. And because you're going to meet people from all over the world that will be on these cruise ships, right, Lisa?
Absolutely.
And, in all different backgrounds and experiences. And one of the things I always challenge people when this will be my 13th cruise that I've done, is I challenge them that come prepared to bless your steward, the person who's in your room, whether it's bringing a Bible or blessing them financially or blessing them to share your faith. I mean, here's a great opportunity with a person that cleans your room every day, and they're there to make your experience wonderful and to clean your room and to make you comfortable. But I will tell you, don't spend a lot of time in it because you're out having fun.
That's right.
Between swimming on the ship and shopping on the ship and eating on the ship, and then maybe going to a show on the ship and then eating on the ship and then maybe swimming and then coming back to eating on the ship. It's a lot of fun. And people will come back in a minute too, because people ask questions about eating. But in the Dominican Republic, we're going to be able to, there's excursions that you can do on the ship. You can sign up on the ship, right, Lisa? Or
yes, you sure can. You can sign up on the ship, or you can sign up in advance too.
In advance. Yeah. And I remember the last time I was in DR, I think I did like a snorkeling. I think it was snorkeling, was playing with the stingrays. I don't know. I did something like that. That was a lot of fun. And then in Coco Cay, it's a private island. All you do is carry a bag of stuff. And I don't even remember if you don't need money because they feed you.
You don't need money. When you're on Coco Cay, it's like you're on the ship, but you're off the ship. So when you get off the ship and you go to different ports, you have to pay for your food and souvenirs, and we pay for souvenirs anywhere. But your CPass card, we can talk about that later, what a CPass card is, because for some people that might be a new concept, but you can eat in Coco Cay just like you eat on board the ship. And there is a lot of choices. Most cruise lines, if not all of them, have private islands in the Bahamas. But what Royal Caribbean has done is they've turned their private island into a mega private island, and it has many, many more opportunities than it did before. They have a water park, they have excursions galore, but just the pool even of it, the pool itself is, they say it's the largest pool in the Bahamas. It's incredible, and the food is really, really good. You get off the ship and you don't have to take a tender boat to get there. You just get off, and there's a shuttle that can take people that don't want to walk too much, but it's a very short little walk over to the they call it the Chill Island and the Thrill Island, and they have different things on the different islands, and you guys can look it up online, or we could tell you more about it today. It's a very special place. Honestly, it's my favorite place on earth. My screensaver on my computer is Coco. My daughter's getting married there in November. It's a very cool place to me. So
That is
yeah,
definitely.
so yeah, ask questions if you want.
And we're all there together. We can all sit together as a group.
Yes,
We can sit together
yes.
with just your friends or people that you made as your friends. And I'm going to tell you, you'll come on this ship and you may not even know anybody.
Yeah.
But because you're going to know me, you're going to know somebody.
That's all you need.
Connecting, and we're going to have so much fun, and you're going to make friends. Of course, it is up to you to make friends, but we love to structure the environment in which we can make friends and get to know people's heart. And so my thing is, I don't want anybody by themselves. I mean, I want, so you may go, I don't know what I want to do yet. I don't know anybody. I'm going to wait till I get on the ship. Here's the cool thing. You get on the ship, you make some friends. What are you doing? What are you doing? We're going here, we're going there, and you go do it together. Oh, what a concept, right? We also try to designate an area to have all of our meals together, our breakfasts and lunches when we're on the ship. And then our dinners, we're all together going to dinner the same hour. It's the ship selects that time for us. And that's up to you. You can go to dinner and you can eat as many entrees. You can order as many as you want and many desserts as you want. And it's kind of more formal with the guys with little bow ties, right? Or you can say, you know what? I just want to wear my flip-flops and my sundress, and I'm just going to eat up at the big buffet like you're in Golden Corral, okay? Nobody is going to judge you if you don't want to sit down and eat dinner. But again, that's where you're going to build those friendships, and that's where you can go off and do things. But you know what? At the same time, if you're like, hey, I want to come and just rest. I want to come and spend time with God too. And I may just do some things by myself. It's okay. No judgment. Well, I may fuss at you a little bit, but no, I'm just kidding. So, but what I love about Coco, and I've been on it as well, is that I love how you can kind of just leave your stuff. You don't bring your purse with you. You don't bring your wallet. You bring your room key. You can, obviously, some people will bring their phones, but maybe say, you know what, I don't even want to bring my phone. And you literally, the freedom to just be all over the island and have fun and not worry about your stuff being taken. That's what I love about the private islands. But let's skip over it real quickly and talk about Alaska, because I don't know about some of you guys, but that was on my bucket list. And I got to go about 3 years ago. And I said, oh my goodness, I can't wait to go again, not knowing that I'd get a call or that I'd be talking to Lisa Mann with All Christian Cruises. And by the way, I'm going to put all the information in the chat, but it's allchristiancruises.com. If you go there, you'll see everything that Lisa's doing. And there's things that she's doing also with Russell and Kristi that she's not doing with me, but it's okay. But we are going to Alaska. Lisa, please tell them just a general about some of the Alaska before Russell, Kristi, and I talk about some of the format.
Okay. So going to Alaska, the scenery that you're going to see in Alaska, you don't have to pay to look at the scenery. I mean, when you get off the ship, there are excursions, and I think you should save a little extra money because the excursions in Alaska are a little bit more pricey, but they're very, very, very special. And I tell people, if you have a budget, you only can spend so much when you go on these excursions. Maybe do one super duper wonderful excursion, and then at the other ports do something that is either not an excursion or just something more simple.
Like walking around shopping or whatever.
Yes. But even just doing that, you're going to be blessed because the sights are so beautiful. Just sitting on the ship. You guys, the ship pulls up right by the glaciers. So it's not like you can touch it from the ship, but you almost feel like you can. And there's a day where you're just going through glaciers. It's like an excursion that you're sitting on the ship. And some people like to get balcony cabins because then they can just have their own privacy where they can see the beautiful sights. But there's other places on board the ship. You can get an inside room and, spend less money, but just be intentional to get out of your room and look at the sights because it's just gorgeous. I mean, like the things you see in the picture, you're going to see. Russell and Kristi are getting really excited as we're talking about it because they're really excited to go to Alaska. Right? This is your first time going to Alaska, I think, right?
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah. They've done many cruises and all of this, but Alaska is going to be new for them. So it really is. It's special. It's just special.
When I went before, I went to some of the ports that we're going again. I think I did a zip lining in a rainforest. That included rappelling and included a swinging bridge. I have this great funny story that I tell about my experience in Alaska. But you also, like, some of the guides tell you the history and what's going on. A friend of mine, she did the dog sledding, where,
I was going to say, that's a big one. Yeah.
That's a big one. Someone did a helicopter, someone did a biplane. Those are the big ones.
Yeah.
And then we also ate at like I think it was in Juneau. It's this like lobster or it was crabs or something. And it was like, some crazy price, but you're eating Alaskan, I think it was a crab, maybe. Yeah, Alaskan crab. So and then the shopping is fun, of course, but then just walking around and learning about the cultures. And I had one lady, I shared this a lot, that said to me, well, I hope they take our money in Alaska. And I said, it's America. Well, they better speak our language. It's America. And she just, in her brain, she just thought it's so far away, they must be a foreign country. And I said, the only difference between there and here, other than topography, is it costs more because they're farther away. So goods being imported into Alaska cost more. So yeah, save up a little extra, but look ahead of time at what is being offered so that you're aware. You want to have money to have an Alaskan t-shirt, you want to have money to bring back knickknacks or something that says you're there. But also, go ahead and look and see maybe some things that you might want to do, and that's on your list. And we're going to try to do at least one thing together for singles, and then we've got some things for marrieds. So Russell and Kristi, the difference between this cruise and the Dominican Republic, which, by the way, the Dominican Republic also includes not just singles, anybody who's not married, in case you don't know if you're single, okay? If you're not married, you're single. I'm dating somebody, you're single. I'm engaged, you're single, okay? Just telling you. But we also want people to come that minister to singles for either cruise. So if you're a Sunday school teacher, divorce care, grief share, and you want to bring your group with you, we want you to be able to come. It's cool. We're not going to discriminate because you're married if you minister to singles, okay? But if you don't, and you want to come and be a part of it and be able to hear, and by the way, Russell and Kristi teach the word too when they sing, but the one in Alaska is going to be more formal that way. Whereas that we're going to teach together things that combine singles and marrieds. And then we're going to do what we're going to do, Russell and Kristi.
Yeah, so we will have sometimes where we'll come together and we'll worship, but then and have some teaching, but we'll also kind of break out and at times have things specifically for married couples and families, and then things that are specific to singles. Because Chris's ministry is all about singles ministry. Well, Russell and Kristi, we lead worship, but a lot of our ministry is about helping married couples. So we're kind of tailored to help both. And so we're looking forward to just having opportunities to all be together, but then where we can split out and we can have specific things that apply to us wherever we find ourselves.
Yeah. And Russell and Kristi have been married for how many years now? 20 what?
Almost 29.
29 years. They know a little bit about it. And I know a lot about not being married. I mean, I know a lot about professionally being a single, but living with hope and joy and living successfully as someone who's not been married. And so we wanted this. I was talking to Lisa, we were setting this up, and I was saying, wouldn't it be awesome if there was a way to combine it? Because it's not a cruise where they say, oh, it's for anybody, just come. And then you go as a single and you're like, oh, it has nothing for singles. This is just a general cruise with a married speaker. No. We thought of you when we designed this cruise. We thought of you that we come together for when the word is for both of us, and then a time apart where we can maybe get honest about marriage and get honest about singleness, and then have the option too to come together for excursions or separate. And we just we are. Can you tell we're excited about Alaska too? Yeah, and so of course Russell and Kristi will be doing worship as well, which I just get tired of it, but I'll just suffer. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. And I make Kristi do crazy things too. She sings like Snow White, and we'll have to get her to do some of her little fun things that she's done over the years for me. It's kind of beautiful. I don't know. It's not opera. I don't know what kind of voice you call it. It's just, it's really pretty. And so we're going to definitely hang out and get to know each other. But Q&A, we got a bunch of people watching, which is great. We're going to be this will be recorded, so people can watch it again later. But questions, put some in the chat that you might have. And somebody said, yeah, the link didn't work. Yeah, we were having some technical problems. Sorry. But we got some questions for you, Lisa, that you might be able to answer. And then other people might, Lisa Massey wants to know, when is Alaska? It is
June 3rd through 10th of next year.
Of 2024. And it leaves out of what city, Lisa?
Seattle. And we purposely picked Seattle. You could do Seattle or you could leave out of Vancouver, but it's cheaper if you live in the United States, at least, to fly to Seattle. Sometimes there's some really good deals. So yeah, and Seattle's a cool city. Come in a day before, 2 days before. It's a very, very cool city, or stay after. I don't know. Yeah.
Yes. And so one of the questions I get asked too for both, because the one in Dominican Republic is leaving out of Port Canaveral, which is near, it's on the coast.
Orlando.
Yeah. And so people ask me this, like, is there a specific hotel that you'll tell us that we can stay at?
Yes.
If we don't stay at that hotel, can we stay somewhere else? Well, of course. But from that hotel that you're putting on the website will be a shuttle that'll take them to the cruise.
Yes. Yeah. Well, for the cruise in December, we already have the hotel. It's the Hampton Inn Gateway. It's right by the airport. They have a free shuttle to take you from the airport to the hotel if you're coming in the day before. I recommend for people to come in the day before if they're able, whenever you go on a cruise. If you're flying, say you live in Atlanta, like I do, and you fly Atlanta to Orlando, maybe not a huge deal, come in the morning of if you can get a super early flight. But if you're coming from a little further away, I think it's a good idea, so you don't have to worry about weather delays or plane delays or any kind of delays and possibly miss your cruise. So if you come in the day before, we purposely picked the Hampton, and I've sent groups there before. It's not a big fancy hotel, Hampton Inn. I mean, it's not the Ritz, but it's not priced like the Ritz either. It's $129 plus tax. And if you're coming by yourself and you want to be paired with a roommate, we guarantee roommate matching for everybody who's coming on our singles cruise. If we have an uneven number of guys or an uneven number of girls, we'll put somebody in a room by themselves and they will not pay the single supplement. So I'll say that right off the bat. When it comes to the hotel, if you want to be paired with a roommate, we'll try. But if we can't, if there's, doesn't work out, then it's not crazy expensive. So that's the deal with that. And when it comes to getting to the cruise terminal, we're going to see how many people that we have to figure out the best, most cost-effective way to get from point A to point B, meaning the hotel to the cruise terminal, because the cruise terminal is about 45 minutes away from the airport or from the Hampton Inn. So it's a little bit of a distance. The cruise line offers shuttle service from the airport. So people that are coming in the day of the cruise and want to take that, there's a fee for that. I think it's $34.99 or something like that. It's close to $35, which isn't great. But if you were going to take Uber for something like this, it'd be too expensive because it's a good distance. So yeah, or if you're coming in the day before and you're driving, you want to stay, you can stay with the group at the hotel at Hampton Inn and then drive your car over to the cruise terminal. There is parking there. It's $15 per day to park.
Yeah, so definitely keep that in mind.
Yeah.
One of the questions I was asked was about travel insurance for Alaska, how much it cost.
Okay, well, travel insurance is always a good idea, no matter where you're going. And the price varies if we get you the insurance through the cruise line, it varies depending on the room type that you have. We can also get you insurance through an outside source. Travel Guard is the company that we work with, and we can get a price for you. There's actually on our website, there is a little blurb about travel insurance. You can click on it, you enter where you're going, your dates, your age. They ask you a bunch of questions. It's pretty much varies based on age and trip cost, and then they'll give you a price. And when you do the insurance that way, you can add your flight in also. Anything that's not refundable, if you get sick at the last minute and you need to cancel your cruise, you're going to have to cancel your flight also, because it's not going to be any good if you can't go on the cruise. It's nice to get your whole package back. And so you put a claim through just like you would with any other insurance policy. But it's helpful, and it also gives you coverage for anything medical, that could happen to you when you're outside the country. Of course, Alaska, we know, is inside the country, but the cruise to
except the last port is Canada.
Yes, it is Canada. And yes, and the reason is because I don't know if anybody is wondered this, but there's something called the Jones Act, and it's a rule that if you are on a cruise, I think there are some exceptions because there are cruises to Hawaii that just go to Hawaii, but in general, you have to go outside of the country and then come back in. And so that's why they go to Victoria, British Columbia. Almost every cruise you're going to see, if not everyone, out of Seattle is going to go to Victoria for just a little bit. And it's fun. It's a beautiful city. They do it at the very end. It's not for the whole day. It's just for the evening, but it's a fun way to spend your last night.
And when I did that, we just walked everywhere. We ate,
Mhm.
whatever place could get us in, and there's enough time. They're all the whole city is waiting for us. So
That's true.
they
Yeah.
expect us to come. They know who we are. They know, and what we're about. They don't go, where are you from? They know you're from not there. So
Right.
it's kind of cool. So another question that was brought up, this is great. Someone wanted to know, well, speaking of Canada and Dominican Republic, do they need a passport?
So when you go on a cruise that starts and ends in the same city, which is the case for both of these cruises, it's the case for all of the cruises on our website. You can travel if you're a US citizen with your birth certificate, certified copy, or the original, and your driver's license or other government issued photo ID. But if you have a passport, definitely bring it. If you don't have a passport, consider getting it. And I'll tell you the two reasons why I think it's better to travel with a passport if possible. If you decide at the last minute to go and you can't get a passport, you can make it work with your birth certificate and driver's license. But if for some reason you miss the cruise and you need to fly to one of the ports to catch up with the group, you cannot get on an airplane without the passport. If you're on the cruise and there's an emergency at home, I don't know, someone has a baby, something good, but whatever, you have to fly home, you can't get on the airplane going the other direction without the passport either. So I think it's just good. It's better if you have the passport, but is it required? No.
Someone did ask a question about specific hotel in Seattle. I think we've already stated what that would be, and it'll be on the website as well.
Yeah.
As once we confirm the one in Alaska, it'll be on the website. So
Yeah.
just check back and look at the schedules and
Yeah.
you'll see that too. Another question was, is the cruise specific for Christians? Or will the cruise also have other passengers? We talked about this before we went live. If you want to
Yes.
share that again.
Okay, so yeah, we did talk about this. All Christian Cruises is because we are all about Christ, all about the Lord. We that's when we started this, that was our vision, that's what we're all about. But we did not mean for anybody to think that the whole ship is Christian, because it's not. It really isn't. That would be a really cool concept, but it's not. Our group, we would think everybody is a believer in our group. We will have music that is uplifting to the Lord. We will have conversations that are edifying to God. I believe we'll have ministry. Everything we do is all about the Lord. But the whole ship, no, the whole ship is not Christian.
And the cool thing, Russell or Kristi, because we haven't heard from Kristi too much there, but so give us an insight of the fact that the ship is going to be a mixture of people with different beliefs and backgrounds and whatever, but our group is Christian, and so give people some insight on the pluses of that.
She's being shy.
Well, I just don't speak very often, but I think honestly, being able to be his light to people around us, because it's not everybody on the ship is Christian, we are allowed to be his light wherever we go. And you never know when we see someone and they need something, we can talk with them and help
Share
them
with
or
them.
share with them.
Yeah.
So I think it's a wonderful thing.
Mhm.
Yep, and we are asked. God has asked us to go out, and so we're with our group for support and friendship and connectivity and fun together and safety. But at the same time, God has put us in this world, and we are to minister. So another question that came in, Lisa, was, what's the additional price for a single interior room? I don't know what cruise
Okay.
you're asking, but I'm going to guess it's Alaska.
Well, either way, in general, it's double the cost. So whatever the price is for the cruise, whether it's whatever cruise it is and whatever room type it is, it's double if you want to be by yourself. So with the singles cruises, this is why it's an advantage. It's not that when I say it's double, it's not that All Christian Cruises is charging you double. The cruise lines charge double for single occupancy. So that's just kind of a cruise rule. And so one of the reasons, well, we've decided to do Christian singles cruises many years ago for many reasons, but one of them was to give people an opportunity who are traveling by themselves, but don't have the funds to pay for a single occupancy room because it's really expensive. So we do roommate matching. And we will tell you who your roommate is before you get on the cruise and give you contact information for your roommate so that you guys can get in touch with each other. And overall, I would say we've had people sometimes are nervous to share with someone that they don't know. Totally get it. But overall, I will honestly tell you that the experiences that we have had when it comes to roommate matching have been really, really good. Our biggest problems when it comes to roommates were people that knew each other, actually, because I think maybe you're more comfortable with people that you know. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's why. And we haven't really had like a ton of problems, but I'm just saying that overall, I think it's worked out really well. And I think that people are grateful for that option. But you know, that you could get a room by yourself, of course, but it's just twice as much. You don't pay the gratuities twice because that's only once, but everything else is double.
Right. And that's a good question, Lisa. So is the price including gratuities or is that all separate?
No, the prices that we have on our website include taxes and port fees, and that's a big chunk, especially in Alaska, but the gratuities are extra.
Gratuity meaning who you'd pay your steward, or if you wanted
Yes,
to
yes,
somebody
yes.
on
So
the ship.
the gratuities are $16 per day. And that covers the tips, like you're going to have a cabin steward that comes into your room twice a day to clean your room in the morning and tidy it up at night and make it real nice for you. When you go to the dining room, there's the waiter and the assistant waiter and the maitre d' and all the people for the most part that are serving you. They have a way that they divide up the tips.
Okay.
And so you can prepay them. You don't have to pay. If you prepay them, then it's easy. You don't have to worry about it on board the ship. But the cruise line figures out the way to divide it.
Oh, good. So another question that somebody asked me earlier was, wait a minute, Mary Louise, but if we have a roommate, is it better to book at the same time or just list each other?
Either way is fine. You could just list each other if you want to do it at the same time. If you want to call, we can help you over the phone and do it that way. Some people are more comfortable with that. But when you get your confirmation, you'll both have the same confirmation number because you're in the same room. You'll have the same number. You can compare and say, hey, my number is this. And the other friend will say, my number is that too. So we're good. And it'll also say in your confirmation, if you requested somebody to be your roommate, we'll list who that is on your confirmation.
So Nancy wrote, I had to smile and laugh because I know who Nancy is. But she said, are there 2 beds in the room?
Good question. A good question. And I'll tell you
You
something
have
funny.
a roommate. Do you
Yeah.
have to share? And
Okay.
like, we don't realize that the beds come apart. So yeah.
Right. Well, I was going to say that. So the beds at a hotel, you've got 2 double beds or you have a king bed. On a cruise, the rooms are smaller. They really are. There's not room for 2 double beds or 2 queen beds. That just to give you an idea, that's like they really are smaller, but they're interchangeable. So if you sign up 2 girls, 2 guys, you're going to be in 2 beds. If for some crazy reason, and I shouldn't even say crazy because it can happen, if you get there, and it's happened. I remember one time when we were on a cruise and there was a guy, I was down the hall and he screamed down the hall, Lisa, I'm not sharing a bed with this guy. Of course, we're not going to make you share a bed. Two men would never like that, of course. But so they can change the beds. They're interchangeable beds. So if for some reason you're a married couple and you get there and your beds are separated and you say, I'm going on this marriage cruise, why would I have my bed separated? They'll put them together while you're at dinner and you won't even know the difference. If you're 2 single people and you wanted your own beds, they'll fix it. Most likely you'll get there because we put the request in when we make your reservation. We have the question that the cruise line asks us, how do they want their beds? So we'll put down how you want your beds, and more than 9.5 times out of 10, it'll be the way you requested it. But if it's not, it's an easy fix.
And no, people, the rooms are small, so don't pack like you're going somewhere where you have a massive hotel room. You will be limited. The closet is only going to be about this long. Okay, maybe about this long. You will put your suitcase under your bed. That's where you can store it. There's a few drawers. Unless you're paying for some big gigantic suite. So just keep that in mind if you also are sharing it with another person. There's limited outlets, and so you just again have to share. Let me ask you this, Lisa, can people bring a light bar, electrical bar? Are they prohibited on the ship?
What's an electrical bar?
Where they can plug in many things into one big long
bar.
Like a power strip.
Power strip.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That's a great question. I can find out for you.
Yes.
I want to say yes, but I don't want to say yes without knowing for sure.
No, I have had mine confiscated. So
well, then the answer is no.
But I don't know about, that's been a few years ago.
Okay.
And I also don't know, like you can't bring an iron.
Right. Fire hazard. Yeah.
Iron is a fire. So
they do have a dry cleaning service and it does cost money, but if you want to get your formal clothes, and you did mention something about going to the dining room. The dining room has, on the shorter cruises, on the cruise in December, there'll be 1 formal night. On the cruise to Alaska, there'll be 2 formal nights. But on the nights that are not the formal night, then the formal nights, it's not exactly like it used to be where ladies wear fancy ball gowns. Like I tell people, if you have a fancy dress that you have not had an opportunity to wear in however many years and it still fits you, go for it, wear it, that's great. But if you don't go out and feel like you have to go shopping and buy something expensive, because really you can just wear a dress, you can wear a pants outfit for the guys, you can wear a sports jacket. You don't have to wear a tie. You can if you want to. You can't go to the dining room on the formal night in shorts, flip-flops, jeans. It's you might be able to get away with jeans if they're black jeans, or you figure out a nice top, whatever. But in general, it's the dress up night. The other nights on the cruise to the main dining room are kind of like you're going to a restaurant for dinner, a nicer restaurant for dinner. So maybe ladies will wear a dress or pants, but not super fancy. Guys can wear khakis and a polo, or it's just like you're dressing a little bit for dinner, but doesn't have to be fancy.
Well, and some people like to dress up because they don't ever get
Yes.
to.
And
any
that's great.
time.
That's great.
And they want to have their picture taken. There's going to be people
Yes.
taking pictures
Yes.
everywhere,
Yes.
but you can
Yes.
also take your own pictures in front of the
Yes.
staircase or that staircase.
Yes.
And so it is kind of fun. And I
Yes.
wore just glitter tops. I
Cool.
wore a little fancy glitter top. And then one time
Cool.
I wore a top that just came off my shoulders and with a cute clutch purse. It was just something that was more than I would wear to the all.
On the formal night, you did that probably,
Yes,
right?
on the
Yeah.
formal night. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me go ask you something about food. So one of the questions that people had was, can I bring, am I going to be able to get my favorite diet soda on the ship and it's going to be unlimited? And I said, no, I believe it'll be a soda package that you have to purchase. And
You
it's
can.
Coke products, right? Coke products.
Yeah, it is. And you can purchase that. When it comes to food, we'll just talk about that first. When it comes to food, unless you want to go to a specialty dining restaurant, and they have them, they have ways you can spend money on food, but you absolutely positively can eat great without spending any money. Promise. The dining room is like a nice restaurant. The buffet is good food. It's a buffet, but it's good food. So there's really, and you go to Coco on the Bahamas cruise, the Caribbean cruise, there's lots to eat. You can get, if you're not sure, you want this or that, you can get 2 entrees, you can get 3 appetizers, you can get 4 desserts. I mean, and I'm totally serious about that. You can get as much as you want when it comes to food. When it comes to drinks, non-carbonated beverages there's no cost for that, but sodas, pop, wherever you're from. I grew up in Ohio, we said pop, that costs extra. So, and you can buy a package where it is unlimited, but only buy it if you're going to drink a lot of soda or pop.
Yeah.
Because it costs, it's not cheap. So if you can drink iced tea, lemonade, fruit punch, milk, juice, hot chocolate, coffee, tea.
Bring your little Crystal Light packets and flavor your water.
And they have flavored waters there too. So you don't even have to. They have flavored waters that are free. So yeah.
I would also recommend that you bring a thermos. Bring a thermos for coffee and bring a thermos for non-coffee, like water or water-based drinks. So that way you don't have to keep refilling up and you can carry it around with you. And I always think that's a good idea. What about internet? People ask me, can I use my cell phone while I'm in the Dominican Republic to call my mom?
Right.
Can I use it in Alaska?
So when it comes to phones and when it comes to internet, they do have an internet package that does cost money. So, you can purchase it and then you can use your phones. You can if you want, but it does cost money. They have packages where like you can get 2 devices on the same package. So you say you have a friend going with you or a roommate and you want to share it, you just can't both use it at the same time. If you want it for yourself, you can use your laptop, but not at the same time as you're using your cell phone. So you just have to be a little bit creative. But they do have packages. The phone companies, I have Verizon, and they have packages also where you can pay. For me, it was $10 a day if I'm outside the country. But when you're on the cruise ship, it doesn't count. So if you get that package when you're in Mexico or you're in Caribbean or Bahamas or whatever, it will work. But if you're on the cruise ship, it's a totally different ball game. So when you're on the cruise ship, you don't want to use your phone unless you're prepared to pay a lot of money. You want to get the internet package and maybe communicate with people via WhatsApp. There's different ways to do it.
Yep. And I remember, I think one ship too, you could just go use their terminals, one of their computers, and pay a fee.
You pay for that too. No, you do.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you did, but it was like, you didn't have
Yeah,
to
you could use their, you could do that. Yeah, you could get an internet package and not have to have your own laptop or use it. You could totally do that. Yeah.
Okay, another question somebody had is, can you use American money in the Dominican Republic?
You can use American money pretty much anywhere you go on these cruises. You really can. They'll take your money. When it comes to anything on the ship, or anything through the cruise line. It's a cashless system. So when you get on board, you can give them your credit card, they'll swipe it. Anything you purchase goes onto your room charge. Like when you go to a hotel, you have a choice. You want to put on your room or not? You don't have a choice. On the cruise, everything goes on your room charge. Anything that you want to charge. You can go on the cruise and say, I'm not planning on spending any money. You don't have to even give a credit card. You just say, they won't let you buy anything if you didn't give a card. Or if you wanted to have a cash deposit, you said, I'm coming here with, in my mind, I'm going to spend $50, $100, whatever your budget is, you can give them that at the front desk. And when the cruise is over, if you have 3 cents left, they're going to track you down and make sure to give you your 3 cents. If you owe 3 cents, they're going to make sure they collect that also. So it's very specific. It's like your bank. You could do it that way too. But when it comes to off the ship, yeah, you can use credit cards, you can use American money, whatever you want to do.
And so speaking of, talk about the card that you're talking, you have to have.
So it's called your CPass card. And when you're in the check-in area of the cruise terminal, they're going to take your picture, and somehow magically your picture gets embedded on your card, so that when you go to buy something on the cruise ship, and it'll have your room number on there, they'll just take your card and they'll be able to see your face on the screen to make sure that it's you, and it'll know your room number and it'll get charged to your room. When you get on and off the ship, they scan your card so they know when it's time to leave. If Kris is not there, they're going to know, because they'll go down the list of people and they'll say, okay, she's not here, and then they try to do what they can to locate you. But definitely come back in time, like when the ship is time to leave, get back a little bit early. But this card is very important. So that's what you use to purchase things. That's what you also use to open and close your door. They have a little place by your door, like a little holder. You can leave it because it makes it convenient. If not, you might lose it in your room, or not lose it, but just kind of can't find it, sort of a thing. And if you do misplace it, you can go to the front desk and they'll get you another one. So it's not like the world's going to come to an end, because remember, your picture's on there. So if somebody takes your card, they're not going to be able to charge to your room. So
I remember one of the first times I went cruising, I didn't know that's how the lights turned on, by putting the card in the little slot when you first walk in, and that's how all the lights came on.
That's pretty cool.
And that's how they get the lights to turn off, because once you leave with your card, and
out.
I didn't know. It took me forever
Yeah.
to figure that out. It was crazy. Do they need to bring shampoo? That was another question. Or is
You don't. You don't. If there's a certain kind of shampoo that you like, bring it, for sure. But they're in your room, they will have shampoo, conditioner, body wash.
Lisa, do you have a list of things that people suggest they bring or not bring on your website?
We do. It's up in the upper right-hand corner of the website. There's some suggestions with that.
Great. Another question is, when is the last day I can register to come to either one of these cruises?
Well, you asked me a question that I don't know off the top of my head, but it's on the website. What it'll say is final payment. But when it comes to the last day to register, I honestly don't think we have a last day. If there's space and we can take you on, if we have a spot for you, we'll take you. 3 days before the cruise departs, they send the manifest over to the cruise ship, and then we can't add anybody. But if you call me a week before and you say, you know what, my schedule just opened up, or I have a friend who wants to come with me, please, please, please. If there's a spot, we'll take them. But if we've sold all of the rooms in our block, like for example, we have a cruise going in October with Russell and Kristi, a couples cruise. Every room that we had in our block is gone. We can get more space on the cruise ship, but it's a lot more expensive than the space in our block. So if we have room in our block and somebody wants to come at the last minute, we will love to give them one of our spots. Or if we have someone that doesn't have a roommate and we're waiting to fill that spot, fantastic. But it's hit or miss. You don't know for sure. So just depends.
And they can make payments every month,
Yes.
or more often than
Really, we have a payment plan set up, and it's going to be more relevant to the Alaska cruise because it's farther away. The Christmas cruise, the final payment's coming up sooner. But even with that one, you can call. I have people that call all the time and they say, oh, please put $50 or please $10, $100, whatever it is. We'll just keep adding it to, we can keep your card on file and we can just keep adding it, or you can use a different card or whatever you want to do. We just turn it into the cruise line and it just brings your balance down. So yeah, we'll work with you on that.
Another question is, people want to know, if I brought my kids, is there stuff for kids to be doing while we're in sessions teaching? And
they have a kids program for sure, all ages. So yeah, it's a fun program. And it doesn't cost money for the kids to participate in the program that the cruise line offers. So yeah.
And we said this right in the beginning, but I just want to touch base on it again. Excursions, you can do some, you can wait till you're on the ship, but it's first come, first serve.
Mhm,
So if you wait too late on the ship, they may be filled.
mhm, they might.
And you can do some ahead of time, but is it better to do them ahead of time? And if they do them ahead of time, do they do them through All Christian Cruises? Or do I just go to DominicanRepublic.com and just find cousin Larry and he's taking a bunch of people out fishing? I mean, what's
Okay.
the best way?
So there is an app. You can download the Royal Caribbean app on your phone. And then when you put in your reservation number, because when you make a reservation with us, we're going to send you your confirmation number. You can enter that and they'll ask you some questions on the app so they'll know who you are. And you put in your reservation number and boom, it'll pop up on your app. Once you have done more than one cruise with Royal Caribbean and you sign up for their Crown and Anchor Society, which is their loyalty program, anytime you book a cruise, it'll recognize you before you even have to put it into the app. But if you've never used the app before, you have to do a little bit of a sign up and then download that. You can sign up for drink packages, your soda package. You can sign up for internet packages. You can sign up for shore excursions. There's different options of things that you can sign up for in advance. So when it comes to, do I do it in advance or do I do it on board the ship? That really depends. Like for Alaska, there are some very special excursions. If you are the kind of person that says, I want to go dog sledding. I've been wanting to do that for a long time. If I have a buddy to go with, that's great. But if I don't, I still want to go dog sledding, then sign up for it, because when you get on board the ship, it's possible that it won't be available. But if you're the kind of person that says, I'm not really sure what I want to do, I just know that I want to do something and it's more important to me that I do it with other people, then it might be better to wait to do it on board the ship, because I can guarantee you on the first night, Kris is she has her ways of, oh, this, you want to do this, go with this person, so you'll make friends right off the bat. And that's one way, maybe even to make friends, like who wants to do this excursion, who wants to do that excursion. And if it's kind of more fun to do it with people. So for that mindset, I say do it on board the ship. It just depends.
So Lisa, based on my memory, and maybe Kris and Kristi based on their memory, if you booked an excursion and there's really, really bad weather, I know in Alaska it rains all the time, so that's not a reason for them to cancel. If it's raining, they'll still have their event, unless it's a tornado or a hurricane. But if there's bad enough weather and the cruise line cancels it, you get your money back, correct?
So first of all, it doesn't rain all the time in Alaska. There's one port, and I'm looking to see if it's on our list. In my experience, Ketchikan is where it rains. And I am looking, and I don't think we're going to Ketchikan. I'm pretty positive we're not going to Ketchikan. So if I'm wrong, we're going to Ketchikan. It might rain in Ketchikan, but chances are it's not going to rain in these other ports. It could. If the weather is such on any ports, whether it's Caribbean or Alaska, if it's such that it's not safe to go on the excursion, 100% they're going to cancel. They're going to give you your money back. If the weather is not great and you say, I don't want to go because the weather's not great, then you're not going to get your money back. So it depends. And if you're the kind of person also that says, I want to go to the beach, but I only want to go to the beach on this excursion to the beach. If the weather is really great, then just wait until you're on board the ship and see what the weather's like, because you don't know that in advance.
And here's the thing, that this is just me, and please correct me if I'm wrong, Lisa. It's safer to book your excursion through the ship. Okay, because the ship is also going to let you off the ship based on what excursion you did book, because they leave at different times and have different transportation modes. And so you're protected because you're with other people from the ship. But if you book your own in the country, we don't have a way of knowing where you're at, who you're with, or what you're doing.
Right.
And so I would just say it'd be safer through the ship.
I think it would be safer for two reasons. One, general safety, because the cruise line has vetted the suppliers that they use to take people on excursions. So you're going to be in good hands. They're not going to put you with somebody that's going to take you to places that you're not supposed to go, because they'll get in trouble. So you don't have to worry about that. So from safety standpoint, as far as safety, like where I'd want my daughters to be going, okay, that's a safe way to do it. But the other side also, on the return, especially with Alaska, and I've seen this happen before. People are in a float plane and it's cloudy and it takes longer for the the plane to get back because they go really slow and they want everyone to be safe, or they took longer to take off because it wasn't, good weather conditions and they had to wait. And then the planes ends up getting delayed and the people come to the cruise terminal later. They're going to know who's on and who's off because, like I told you, they scan your card, but they don't wait for you if you have not done an excursion with them. I have seen the cruise lines wait for people, specifically in Alaska, more so than, I don't know if I've seen it in other places, but I know for sure I've seen it in Alaska, where they'll wait for people whose excursions were delayed that they booked through the cruise line. If your excursion is delayed because you got off the ship and booked it with Uncle Jeff who's selling whatever, they're not going to wait for you for that. So highly recommend doing it through the cruise line.
Yep. And so I want to, anybody else wants to I'm looking at my phone because that's what the questions are. But if you have any more questions that you want to ask, this is a good time to ask because we're coming up on our 8 o'clock hour, which we are about done. And we'll try to cover everything that I could think of. I don't know if Russell and Kristi have some questions or some answers to some questions that people have been giving you guys.
Well, just a reminder, the website we keep referring to is allchristiancruises.com. And so all the details for all of these cruises, as well as other cruises that Lisa offers, and a lot of the information we've been talking about is available at that website, allchristiancruises.com. I think there was a question about, is the aurora borealis visible in the Alaskan skies during that time of year? Do you know, Lisa?
No, I really don't.
I don't
We
either.
can find out. I don't know.
Yeah, it wasn't when I went. I don't remember. I don't think we were far enough north, maybe. I think you had to be farther
Yeah.
north for that.
I'm kind of thinking you're right about that. Yeah, because I haven't seen that either.
Yeah. So, but we understand, guys, we really want as many people to come on this as possible. I know some of you like to be in warmer climates. The Dominican Republic and Coco sounds like a wonderful option for you, especially in December. If you live somewhere where it's really cold, come and get a suntan and go back, and all your friends will be jealous. But I'm excited about doing a cruise in December. A lot of people said, why would you do one in December close to Christmas? And for some people, I'm gonna tell you, Christmas is hard. Maybe their parents aren't alive anymore, or their kids are grown and they've moved on, or they've gone through a really bad divorce, and it's a tough month for them. And so what better way than to be able to come together with other believers and enjoy a week of learning more about the Lord, being worship. It's the ultimate gift is the theme that I've chosen to give that week, and that we're going to be. The schedule's already on the All Christian Cruise site as well as on my website, so you can kind of see how we've broken it down and what to bring and how we're gonna have a Christmas party. We're gonna exchange silly gifts. We're gonna do all that kind of stuff that you would do at your church, but we're gonna do it on the ship, which is gonna just kick it up. And the ship is decorated, right, Lisa?
It is. It's so beautiful. Yeah, that's the time to go. Yeah. It's kind of the best of both worlds because you're away for the Christmas season, but if you want to be home and go to your local church or be with family, you have that option to do that. And some people, they'll go on the cruise, and because it is a lonelier time, they'll just stay in Florida and they'll do something else, go to the beach, so you have that option too.
Yes, and Florida in December is great. Obviously great weather.
Yeah.
And you're close to Orlando, so you might want to do something with Disney or whatever, Port Canaveral. So definitely great time. And then of course in Alaska to be able to do that again, and it being again on your bucket list. We just want everybody to be able to go that can go. And so we really do want for that one, we really want to be able to minister to couples, married couples and singles. And so again, you guys, as Pastor Freddie, who I work with the Labor Day Singles Retreat, always says, you can't experience it if you don't go. So you're not going to know unless you go. And so, but if you have more questions, Lisa's available. You can go to her website. Obviously, you can contact Russell and Kristi and myself through our websites. Our contact information is also everywhere. And we would help you the best we can. And let me see, was there any more questions, Russell, that you saw that I missed maybe?
Let's see. One question was about how often will these cruises happen? And if I can't go to either one of these, what else could I find? So I guess that would be a question of go to the website, because I know Lisa's always.
There are other cruises on the website, and we will be adding more for next year also. So,
And hopefully
These aren't the only ones.
we do such a great job for Lisa that she brings us back again as well. And so just, that's just, but that's up to you. So please tell your friends, share this with other people, let people know, we're not a massive organization. None of us are, that we rely on your word of mouth. We rely on you sharing these video. We rely on you sharing the web links, sharing the Facebook pages. We need you to help us. We're not a big corporation where we have tons and tons of money to put on every radio station. And so we really rely on you to help spread the word that we want to be that light that Christ is talking about on that ship, as Kristi mentioned. And so this is where it starts. So we get to have fun. Remember, God owns everything. He owns your money. He owns everything that you have, and you be a good steward of it. But he also wants you to enjoy and have some time off. But wow, what a way to do it. So we pray and we join you in prayer. And I'm going to ask Russell again, would he pray us out? Let's see if there's any more questions that I've missed. I don't see any more.
I'm going to just throw out one more thing that I just thought about. If you head up a singles ministry or any kind of ministry, couples ministry at your church, and you want to bring a group, call me, because depending on how big the group is, sometimes we can work out something for you, the one who is standing there spreading the word for us, to a big enough group that we can afford to compensate you for that. So really just kind of keep that in mind and give me a call if that's something.
Oh, and I had one person contact me the other day, and they said, Kris, how can I, maybe I want to do my own cruise. How can I go about that? And I said, contact Lisa Mann. I said, part of what they do is they host them themselves, but they also will be the travel agent for your own cruise, or in fact, anywhere you want to take a group abroad, anywhere. Lisa does that. And so that's a part of her services, and she'd be more than happy to help and be that in-between person that'll talk to the ship and get everything lined up for you. And you can carry a group yourself. And I know she'd be more happy to help you.
I would for cruises, and also tours to Israel. Just throw that out there. Tours to Israel is another thing that that's really dear to my heart.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys. Thanks for everybody being on. This is our first time doing this. So we I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you got some of your questions answered. And again, please help us spread the word by sharing this. And with that, I will wait for Russell.
Yes. Right. Pray us out.
Well, thank you guys for joining us. Let's pray together. Father, we just thank you for just a time to gather together and just to talk about these wonderful trips that are available. Father, I know that we even see it in scripture that there were times when Jesus would withdraw and go to just have some alone time and some prayer time, some time to get away. And I think it's so true for all of us. There are times that we need to break away from our daily routine. We need to just kind of get away so we can be recharged and renewed. And Father, that's what we want these cruises to be, that we can be in beautiful locations with people that are there to just speak truth and to share your word and to pray over us and to encourage us. And so I just pray that if for those who can, that they would take the time to get away and enjoy these cruises, because maybe they're going through just hard times right now, and they just need somebody to encourage them, or maybe they're just looking for some tools they can put their tool bag so that they can build better relationships. Whatever the case is, they're looking for just to find new friends and to get connected. Father, we pray that they will have the opportunity to come, that they could go ahead and make plans now. They could share it with their friends. They could share it with other couples or other singles, or share it at their church. And that we would just have a great group that would come together to lift up your name, to worship you, but also to be encouraged and encourage one another. And that when we leave that cruise, we leave those trips, that we will be changed, we'll be encouraged, and we will walk with the light that you put in our heart. We can just share it with other people. So I thank you for Kris and her energy and her desire to just see lives changed and to be people to be encouraged. I thank you for Lisa, for her company and how she wants to put people together to enjoy these groups, enjoy these cruises, but also to help you find ways to go. And just thank you for the vision that she had to start this. And Father, we just pray that you'll use us as we go, that we will be your hands and your feet, and that we will be a light on those cruise ships and the places that we make stops. But in all that, we just pray that the people who come would be encouraged, they would see you, they would experience you, and that their lives will be changed because they win. So thank you for the beautiful creation. Thank you for just the opportunity to meet tonight and answer some questions. So we love you, Father. We give you this time, and we just look forward to great things that are going to happen on these cruises and more cruises to come. So we love you and we thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Okay. All right. I said I had y'all sing a song for us. That'd have been cool.
Oh, next time. Let's
You
do
know, a
that
little
next
taste,
time.
you know, what they're gonna hear. It'd be awesome. So you gonna say something, Russell?
Oh no,
No.
I'm just checking to make sure there weren't any more last minute comments or
Oh,
questions.
yeah. Oh, this is what Roseanne says. Everyone at my church wants to go to Alaska. Hey, let's book
Good. Let them all go.
Roseanne. Have them call Lisa Mann and she will work that out. That would be wonderful, wonderful. And by the way, the theme for Alaska is called Thrive. And it's talking about thriving in all of our relationships, our relationship with God, our relationship with each other, marriage, single, friendships. So we're going to be talking about that. I forgot to put that in there. So anyway, with that, we're going to say goodbye. And we are hoping we'll maybe do another one of these at some point in time in the future. So be listening out for that or looking out for that. Thanks again, everybody. I'm Kris Swiatocho. Thanks to my friends, Russell and Kristi Johnson. And of course, Lisa Mann. Without, we would not be able to do this. And so we are so thankful for her and for her stepping out in faith to bring us all together. Bye, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye-bye.
Bye.